Hello boys and girls, my name is Yoshi. Welcoming you back to my 100% blind playthrough of Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity for Nintendo Switch 2. I'll just try to explain stuff if I didn't do it in the video, but yeah, the levels of my characters look a little bit off. That's because we grinded tons upon tons of unique monster battles, EXE alert battles, vicious monsters. So we can keep getting reports of vicious monsters because they're very useful. Also, we got the useful effect now, so we can see exactly who we're even fighting now. That's actually important because some of these guys could be really tough depending on what they are. Like this Lino could be really challenging. But anyways, I did say I would try not to skip all the EXE alerts, and this is the first one we're definitely not going to skip, so yep, it's time for the battle-tested Guardian fight. This is not just a normal EXE mission. This is the battle against the tested Guardian. It is pretty difficult, so make sure to bring your strongest character. Ideally with a close to level 30 weapon or higher would help out. And if you're struggling, you could also lower the difficulty if you're playing on like hardest difficulty. We're playing on only normal mode, so it should be very simple. I didn't want to have a big challenge with this game. I don't play it often enough, so it's better to just stick on normal difficulty. And yeah, we did this in the last episode because we need to get all the characters unlocked, and this is one of the last characters we have to do. So this is basically the reward for going through most, if not a good portion of your research lab stuff. This is basically DLC 1's last boss, basically, if you want to call it that. We get the battle-tested Guardian we have to face, which is like a super boss. It may as well be the super boss of this game. For the most part, it looks like a normal Guardian, but way more tankier and seems to have even worse attacks. It says no healing items appear, but that also means we could still heal. We just are limited to how we can heal. Okay. Well, so far, kind of acting similar-ish to a super boss. Extra fast and very annoying. We are at level 100, so that helps out a bit. This is our first time, we should probably wait around a bit to learn its attack patterns. It's not nice in revealing its weak point, I'll say. So we'll either have to use Furry Rush just to take it down fast, or find some way to defeat it with bombs. Yes, I did get Sheikah Rune damage for that reason. If you do get bored, you could always just run like 15 feet across the map and then just keep spamming the bombs over and over again. I always said stuff about the stasis could be more broken, but the only tricky part about stasis is you have to time it properly to get the most effect out of it. Typically, it means you need to like do it in the middle of a combo and then hit it while you're already hitting them. Or for that to work, but that's really good for hitting weak points. But if you're just trying to defeat them fast, character it is, bombs will work more often and not better. So the strategy from there would be just bomb and then just run very far away while your cooldown comes back, and you could just keep doing that over and over again until the bomb finishes. But of course, also, this is Hyrule Warriors. Unless you're playing on the hardest difficulty, these fights are not generally that tough. And, of course, it helps if they're maxed level. Of course, the beams are still pretty deadly and annoying as always, though. If you're struggling, you could also use the bombs as a way to get invincibility frames, too. I don't know, I feel like it'd be more interesting to try it without that. I just realized this might not even be a character. Maybe Sugo was the last character. Who knows? I don't know, but I was thinking maybe we get this character as an for being it, and that's why we were trying to defeat him sooner. Yeah, status is pretty broken with dealing with the weak points fast. Ugh! Oh, dude, how delayed is it? Okay, well, we did the Vincelli trick properly, and yes, no, that wasn't a weird bug trick. If you keep pulling out the item menu over and over again, that is yet another way you can slow down the game. You'll definitely want to do that a lot on the hardest difficulty, because I heard in the hardest difficulty, if you get it even once, it's pretty much GG in most cases. So pulling out the item menu over and over again can help you out. And stasis is even more helpful in that, because that basically gives you our only opportunity to deal damage. And then beyond that, just good luck. But there we go, that was the Guardian dude, and now Princess Zelda has a new weapon, and looks like we can't go any further until we actually use her to defeat stuff. So I think we're going to be playing as Zelda again for a bit. Unfortunately, we do not have a good Master yet, so we might have to do this the cheap and easy way. By cheap and easy way, I mean not even going into the EXE battle, not even going into there, and also, for some reason we could do that again. And, by the way, we didn't get another character, if you were wondering. All it did was give us some more stuff unlocked. I did not otherwise see what I unlocked. Oh wait, I think I have to go in here too. Yeah, see, now we get this. Turn this in.
Good work.
Now we ally with him. Oh, I see. Now we get him unlocked. Alright, that's our last character of the DLC unlocked. There's only 2 of them, as you can see. In the actually, no, there's 3. There's Per and Robbie, which you get immediately. And now we have the battle-tested Guardian. I like how getting that one immediately spawned 3 more things to collect. And yes, in case you're wondering, we are still trying to do all the quests. That, I think, is important. I feel like it's important that we do that. We may need to go to that hunt for gemstones, honestly, to get stuff. But for now, we could also just buy the amber, I guess, we need. Alright. I don't really care what I use my, monster things on, so I'll just kind of do other stuff. Alright, well, first things first, I want to try and do a side battle, but then I also noticed Link didn't hit max level quite, so I'm going to put him, and we're actually going to put Kino on with him, so we can hopefully get them both to 100 in this battle. I'm not sure if even doing the side experience enough, so we'll have to make a bit of a sacrifice. By that I mean add a 10% XP buff alongside using our normal Sheikah Room damage buff. So our main attacks will be a little bit weaker, but we'll still do a good amount of damage, I think. By the way, we have so many bird eggs. You get a lot of stuff just for, like, finishing 100%. Anyways, I'm going into this because, despite doing many battles, we've not fought a Lionel yet. I figured I want to show how that works. We're not even using a... I just realized we didn't even use a glider. Like, just flew on a cuckoo instead. Is that normal? I'm probably not. But yeah, there you go, guys. So... By the way, I was joking. I figured the battle-tested Guardian was playable, and now we have him. So now we have every single character in this game as of this DLC part. And we already got all the main characters because we needed those in order to even 100% the game. And now we're gonna do this battle because if we do that, Link will hit level 100. As you saw in the guide, there is no benefit nor extra secret to getting a warrior to level 100, and technically in the original game, you could probably get away only leveling up one warrior to do 55. Oh my gosh, it would be nice if there was more people there. Okay, there we go. I like how despite this game looking really nice, even on the Switch, it still has issues loading enemies. Hopefully Age of Imprisonment has another not as big issue. And by the way, I guess I need to keep bringing it up because I keep talking about it again. But if you guys have any comments, I have a little I have some questions for you, specifically. Yes, you. I'm talking to you, audience. You that actually, like, watch my videos. Because of the strategy I said before, after I played this game, since it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, I will be playing Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2 and going for 100% with all the DLC stuff acquired. I actually bought that game pretty early on ahead to prepare for such a thing. Just a little warning, I haven't played the game in a while, and I heard it's one of the harder Zelda games. Even just getting past the beginning is tough, but like some of the later battles can get really rough. Gets extra painful if you're trying to do it on the hardest difficulty, the hero mode. Also, I think I leveled up to level 100. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I missed it, but yeah, we got a character to level 100. We should be able to get King up to 100 next by just taking out every enemy that we see, and then we should be fine. Because of that, we'll probably use him to defeat the boss instead of Link this time. That should be hopefully enough to get him to 100. And then we'll be able to use them in some of the harder battles. Oh my gosh, we're starting to destroy enemies now. The game probably wasn't made with level 30 plus weapons in mind, but I think they probably made that with the idea of if you play on the hardest difficulty, having a level 50 weapon will make battles slightly easier and faster, though. And a difficulty where enemies can more or less one-shot you, and by the way, I'm glad I didn't pick Apocalyptic difficulty. I was initially probably contemplating whether or not to put the difficulty on hard or normal. Or if super hard, maybe the difficulty before that. But I feel like it's just really dangerous. If you ever plan on doing the game exclusively on Apocalyptic difficulty, good luck, because it's very hard. I heard monsters in that can more often than not one-shot you. Especially in these vicious monster battles. They become extra dangerous, and you have to do what, like quite a few dozen of them just to get all the materials you need? Alright. This is probably one of the hardest, vicious monsters to deal with, because we already know how dangerous finals are in the main game. Making them strong, yeah, we're probably going to have a much harder time doing these battles, that's for sure. So we'll just need to dodge more, do an auto step. So yeah, if I were to suggest, since none of the other monsters really give you anything, it's probably better and easier to just defeat either the Hinox if there's one, or any battle that has more than one vicious monster. Because I found out you do not get double drops from these. You only can get one, which means material drops are useless. They only help you with the normal materials, like the food, the bogs, all that stuff. Those are the only stuff that get benefited by material drop rate. The other enemy one, you always only get one whenever you defeat one, and the same is true for vicious monsters. So because of that, it can be really hard to get this done. And by the way, if you're struggling, save your specials for whenever enemies start coming so you don't have to deal with too many enemies at once, because once they start adding more people, you just start getting hit everywhere. Oh, okay, this time I was ready for that. That's usually an attack that I almost never made. Okay. Wizro gets close, I'm gonna probably take him out next. Okay, got rid of both of them. Since we have the freeze thing already, we could try using that against him to make this faster. That's something you could do. If you see a full rod already on the field, you could try using that particular attack to make the battle go a bit faster. And so, otherwise you'd be wasting the battle. Unless we'd be wasting the rod power. Speaking of which, we don't really use electric rod. Alright. And there we go. Our first time defeating a big Lionel like that. Alright, well, I was almost correct. He almost got level 100. The last levels do tend to take the longest, though, so I'm not too surprised. Now, what's a fast battle to defeat 1,000 enemies? We have quite a few options, but if we're just speaking about maybe trying to do stuff efficiently, I think in the long run, if we just want to get this done in one and not have to embark on it again, I think what would be more interesting is to go back to the very first mission of the entire game, and I'll leave the Keenan just as backup, but then from there, I think I'm gonna actually run Zelda, and since he hasn't been seen yet, and we need some stuff for him, we'll get battle-tested Guardian in here too, so we can maybe fully get a stronger weapon. Oh, and then in order to actually do the effect correctly, we need to actually use the Master Cycle. So to bounce it out not being effective, we're going to just go to the very first mission of the game and just make sure we are taking out absolutely every enemy we encounter along the way, and we should be fine. It's gonna look a little weird, the princess doing battles already this early on in the game, or in the very first mission of the game, because technically she doesn't even get her weapon until later, but it'll be cool. It's a nice way to show off this new weapon anyway. Oh, this looks cool, actually. This is like a motorcycle. Oh, we can attack while we do this, too. Oh, we need to pay attention. Okay. That bar tells you how much time you have. Okay, so this is a cool speedrun weapon you could use. After all, this gives you the fastest movement speed in the entire game, so I could see this being useful for if you want to do a full NG Plus run and need to go across the map more quickly. Because almost every other weapon is slower. Alright, well, we don't want to always focus on the big enemies. If anything, just like before, we want to focus on getting as many KOs, the weak enemies, and I don't think we want to actually use bombs, because I think bombs do not count as raising our weapon power up. So we need to actually make sure we are defeating the regular enemies with weapons, and we want to focus on as many of the weak enemies as possible, or else it'll be much harder to do stuff. This script looks really cool, I'll say. Okay, well I can use bombs against that guy to reveal his weak point, I guess. Right. This weapon honestly looks really cool, I'll say. Getting to zoom around all of Hyrule Field with it. I think to manipulate the weapon drop I want, we probably want to just defeat whoever the boss is with our strong character. This is just to get a slightly stronger weapon for them at the start, because I think a power weapon is not nearly enough for what we're looking for. Honestly, we could also just use them on a high-level battle, but that'd be really hard to do if their weapon power is already pretty weak. Better to use them in a multi-battle. And now Battle-Tested Guardian is become our ally. Basically replacing Impa. Oh, we didn't even have to blow that up. We just walked up to it and it opened itself. That's kind of funny. Although these enemies aren't worth as much experience, this battle is very effective if you just want to get a good amount of KOs very quickly. Oh, and something else also to mention, the game does tell you, typically, I think in the menu, how many KOs you need to finish it off, and also tell you when you finish the memory quest. Just nice. But yeah, we're pretty much just going around Hyrule, clearing out absolutely everything. This is also a really great place to farm Bokoblin trophies if you're Vo, because there's plenty of Bokoblin here in this very first level. But more importantly, it's even better for getting all the wood you need. Like, there's just a ton of trees here you can get. Alright, well, there's a couple more enemies we still have to take out. Remember when we were back at the actual start of the game and just finding these? It's probably been at least a few dozen videos ago now. I count only now these enemies appear, despite us being nowhere near them. Feels also really odd to have a Guardian on our side now, considering they've been turning on us pretty much the whole game. Still, it's a nice, cool final DLC character to have, and yes, by the way, we are doing this because we need to upgrade this weapon. Beyond that, I'm probably not going to use it more than this. Since the game wants us to do a certain amount of KOs with it, though, we'll do it all in the first mission, I guess. I'm gonna probably just start using Zelda in some stronger battles again to see if he can get a higher level variant of his weapon. That would help out. Okay, there's our special animation. Cool enough, I guess. I kind of liked her bow shot a little bit better, though. That was a lot cooler. Ooh, they really spawned right back in as we were running back. Oh yeah, right. We get the ability to change character, but Here's where the weird part comes in. We're actually just gonna back up and do it ourselves, because we need all the KOs we can get. So, instead of doing that, actually, let's just do that so that... Actually, well... I'm still gonna use him, but I think I want to start by clearing all these weaker enemies first. Carefully, trying not to hit our opponent at the same time. Then we'll just use Battle-Tested Guardian to finish this guy off. Oh, that is a really broken bomb move. Even more broken than the other characters. By using Battle-Tested Guardian to defeat that particular opponent, the weapon should hopefully be for him and not for someone else. Only reason otherwise to use him. I'm gonna have him, of course, follow. Oh, Zelda. Okay. Be nice if they don't get stuck on everything this time. I know it feels like we're making the first level take a little bit longer than it should, but to be fair, we kind of have to. We'll do pretty much anything for getting a certain amount of weapon KOs. Was it me, or was turning with this weapon a little bit tougher? I guess because it's supposed to be a bite. Yeah, it's supposed to have a little bit a harder time turning around, so I guess that's a weakness to note for later. It didn't say that it reached 1,000 KOs yet. I think we still need to do a little bit more. We should probably get it just doing the last outpost though. Dude, how many are we off? You'd think it would tell us by now that we've done the mission properly. We are using the right weapon, I know that much. I'm just not sure if it works or not. What if I just send you here to deal with these enemies? Alright. Alright. I just realized the way this is set up, it's supposed to be like a royal horse of some kind, but in reality it's more like a motorbike. Because, well, it is a motorbike. But the way it's shaped has markings of a horse, though, which I think is interesting, things considered. Alright, we're gonna use Battle-Tested Guardian for the rest of this, just so we can guarantee that stuff drops for him. Because I think it matters which character you take out. Whichever character defeats the enemies, that's usually the character that will get the drops. Aikau, although we are level 53 and probably a lot stronger than these henchmen or whatever, because we happen to have a low power weapon, it's almost as if we are playing the game all over again. Like, even though we don't have, like, our super buff, we're actually doing more or less moderate damage to those enemies. So it really does matter how powerful your weapon is. So I don't think we want to actually train him until we get a strong enough weapon for it to matter. But of course, doing the training is one way we can do it, so... And yes, the power of the weapons does matter. It really depends on how high the level of the battle level is when you do the battle. Determines how strong the weapon is when you get it. Jeez, I can't speak. Alright. Just like that, we're done. Alright then. Pretty interesting though, getting to play as a guardian. Just a random normal guardian from she knows where. Okay, only problem is it looks like we didn't power up enough. Fine, we'll just have to do it with a weak weapon. Where's the training now? I want to do that next, and I guess we'll just have to do the training a couple of times instead and try and get good weapons that way. Oh, there's a new vicious presence as well. This one has 2. We could do that right next video if we have a chance to. Like how now we have the feign done, it shows us what to do. I didn't see if it even finished anyway.
You're here. Yahoo!
Okay, it worked. Use the master cycle to defeat 1,000 enemies. It worked. Just didn't appear. I guess we needed to track it first. Attack power of all master cycle weapons is increased.
Nicely done.
Oh, we get an upgraded version of it now. So that wasn't bad at all. It was so fun that we had to do. Master Cycle Sentinel. A stronger version of this.
Fantastic.
The highest level variant. Oh, there's one more. This is what we need to do. Oh, we have to do them as perfect dodges. Oh, we still don't know how to do a perfect dodge, really. This is gonna take a while. I think probably the best place to do this will be go test of strength and just try and do perfect dodge. And I just realized something. A perfect dodge is just another way, maybe, actually, I'll check my report, but I think a perfect dodge is just another thing. Proves the quality of weapons. We probably should have done that sooner too. That would have helped us find better weapons. Alright, enough of that. Okay, that gave us some EXE stuff for Zelda. And these are all Master Cycle stuff.
Seems I've grown stronger. I've done it.
So we're basically adding a couple of abilities to this, one by one. Nice.
Seems I've grown stronger.
When overdrive is activated, unleash a burst attack that can knock enemies back, huh? Okay. Alright, the last thing I wanted to do before I forget is battle-tested Guardian training. I've decided we should just do this and hope for the best, and I guess to make up for the weakness, we need to use bombs again. Before we do anything else, though, we should try and get our stuff back, because we're again starting to run out of honey and rice again. Getting to the point where we're going to basically be buying it every cycle we get. By that, I mean buy it pretty much whenever it appears in the shop. Why do you only get 3? Wait, why do you only get 3 of those? I thought we'd get a lot more. Could've sworn there's at least 10 there, typically. Maybe we didn't buy it out fully last time? Suddenly, I don't think that food is as valuable or as usable as I thought. That could be bad. Alright, let's go back to this. Alright, well, we did that. Now let's actually go in and use Battle-Tested Guardian in our first real battle. I guess we're sticking with his default weapon since we couldn't get anything else. But I guess we got something arguably much better. And now that the quality of found weapons has been improved even more, we should be able to find even higher level weapons now. Between that and using them in the high level battles, we can get some really good weapons. I will say, the Blood Moon missions are useful if you were playing the original game for finding weapons. The DLC, pretty much all the DLC missions are better. I see. So we can lock on to force our attacks to basically hit one enemy at a time. Okay. This might be a tight training just because of how low the mission momentarily is. We're not really seeing that KO bar go up at all. Dude, like, look how bad this is. I know having a lower level weapon can make battles a little bit tougher, but just look at this ridiculousness. We aren't even getting any... Yeah, it's probably gonna be a loss right there just because of that. Ideally, we would have just started with a level 30 to 40 plus weapon, but no, for some reason the game wants us to stick with the level 1 weapon, for no reason or another. Worthless, all of them. I guess I'll just have to use them in a battle and hope that we get... Okay, then. Because that's ridiculous. Even with them just as base level, it still seems hard. Oh, because we failed and, like, retreated, we can't buy the weapons anymore, interestingly enough. Also, we lost our effect, too, so we have to actually finish a battle, interestingly enough, to get... Alright. Fiercest of foes, sees it for an handle, unnatural disaster. None of these are really great. Suga has a much better battle, I feel like, could work a lot better. Alright, you know what? Let's look for one that isn't time limited. Like this one, hold the line. Let's do this one without buffs, but have Impa side it and see if we can't trick the game into giving us drops. Like, this is how bad the setup is. This is literally how bad the setup is, to the point where we have to use Impa to make the drop stun. Now, I get the fun of at least making the weapon not super strong so that it's not super overpowered, but when you start a level 1 weapon with only 11 attack power, it just takes way too freaking long to do it. Oh, and also this is a longer battle. Yeah. I thought this was one of the... I might just have to try Astor and see what happens. There's a good chance we just lose to him anyway. But, like, I'm just wasting time. I feel like it would be easier, honestly, to have him. We should just use him in the next story mission instead. Whatever that is. It would be this one. We should just have him as an ally. It works. It's actually just about the level he needs to be anyway, and then we can do his training. So we'll again have to make sure that we use him a bit more. But beyond that, I don't know what to do. It's annoying enough not getting a good weapon farm setup done, but when you can't even kill enemies with the character you're trying to use, yeah, not really fun at all. And that level 1 battle didn't really help out. We should have just done a higher level one. It is what it is. Alright, well, before I waste more time failing about, let's save the game and call it quits. I guess we need to use that character quickly and very quickly upgrade his weapon so he can actually, well, do damage, or else he's simply not going to even do anything. So yeah, until then, I'll see you guys later in the next video, and remember to farm your weapons, because that seems to be very important. Until then, see you guys later. Bye.